Are you using hip-hop style vocals from Splice in your house music tracks? Yousef says you should take them and throw them in the bin. Let's jump in and find out why. Hey, it's Graham Farmer from Data Transmission, and today on YouTube I'm joined by the legendary DJ producer Yousef. He joined me recently on my Twitch channel, and the link below is below for Twitch. I'm a Twitch partner now. Did you see? Check the video in the card. It explains all about it. I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. and we have live interviews. We have live A&R sessions. We have feedback sessions. We teach you about social media. I've dived in and helped people with their Instagram pages. We've done music marketing. Come and join us on Twitch. It's really good fun, and the link's below. And also join the Discord. It's all, again, the link's below, because there's loads of producers chatting and helping each other in there. Back to YouTube today, and I'm joined by Yousef. He talks about using those hip-hop vocals, or using hip-hop vocals from Splice specifically, and why it's a bad idea for your records. He also gives me 3 killer producer tips. So let's jump into the video and see why. How are you, dude?
Cool, man. Just taking it each moment as it comes. Best we can do at the moment, isn't it?
It is, mate. It is. Firstly, massively congratulations for the shows you did in May. Like, bravo, mate. Bravo for everything you've done over the last year. All of the stuff with Parliament, like full on. Well done, mate. Well done. Like, everything you've done has been incredible, and it's been amazing to watch. And it's amazing that you've just stepped forward and done it, man. So thank you very much.
Well, it's appreciated, but I feel like the work is not done. In fact, it's not done. But because I'm going to be calling on every single person that's involved in electronic music, from entry level all the way to the top brass, to support the final push on this project that I'm doing to get electronic music validated as a legitimate art form at government level. That is the big legacy project. So thank me when that's done.
When is that happening? What date do we have to put in our diaries?
It's in about 8 to 10 weeks' time. I'm going to be knocking on the doors of every single person that has got anything to do with electronic music in the UK and saying, guys, I need your help. So I've been putting this shift in for the past kind of, say 14 months, whatever it is, trying to help people, which obviously led to the first dance with Rich and Sam and everyone that works with us and all those things. And that was incredible. But it's made it, even getting the doors slammed in our faces again this week, it's made this project, which I've been working on simultaneously with Michael Kill from the NTIA, it's made it even more important, because to say that the government don't quite get what we've been pushing for 30 years is an enormous understatement.
The Monday was a massive kick in the teeth. Like, literally everyone's got to just move around their diaries again. It's just, so yes, we'll be with you as just let us know.
Absolutely, man. It's been awful.
So let's talk records. You have got this brand new record out today. Thank you for joining me today on Twitch, by the way. And you've got this brand new record out today, which you reworked. So tell us about your record.
Yeah, it's a record that I did following on from a demo that a beautiful singer and girl called Laura McKenna, also known as the Angel. She was actually named by Jamie and Lazarus, but she was a raver that came to Circus back in the day, about 7 or 8 years ago. She sent me a message on my fan page on Facebook and said, "Oh, I'm Laura. I've got this basic demo. What do you think of it?" So I heard it and heard the vocal, and it's like a little bit of bass sound. I was like, there's something in that. I really, really like it. So I just emailed her back and said, "Do you want me to do some work on it?" And she's like, really? So yeah, no problem. So let's just kind of crack on. So I made her basic vocal, which she recorded on her phone under the stairs. It turns out the same vocal that's on this track. It's never been re-recorded. And then,
wow.
So I know. So I remade it, and in the hook line saying "float away" or something like that, there's this feature in Cubase where you can extract the MIDI from the vocal, and kind of got the notes together, then ran it through all these kind of different effects and these kind of different plugins and these different synths, and made this kind of weird guitar line that sits well with the vocal because it's obviously harmonically correct. And then it went from kind of being this really rough, basic demo to this kind of enormous, kind of polished track. And it ended up getting mixed down by Mike Cave in the end. And yeah, it got signed to FFRR. But during that period, there was a merger between Parlophone and Universal or something like that. And the record was right in the middle of that merger. And it was Pete Tong that signed it, and it didn't get the support internally that what it deserved, in my opinion, because I think it's a fantastic collaboration between Laura and I. So with that in mind, I was never quite satisfied with how it ended up, if you like. So I got back to it about the end of 2019. It would have been, I started kind of tinkering away with the stems and kind of remade this different version, because I just got the Rolling Cloud plugin, so you can hear all the acid and the kind of big comedy dramatic strings in and stuff like that from the Juno. So so it was meant to come out last year, but you might have noticed not much happened last year. Did you hear about that? It was meant to be called the Yousef 2020 remake, but in the end it's just called a remake now, because just in case. So so I just put it together, slammed it out, and it sounds great. It's out today. And then there's another remix coming in about 2 weeks of some other lads from Liverpool you might have heard of. They're called, what are they called again? Camel Fat? So, yeah. So they used to love the original, and they asked to remix it last year. So great. Me and the Camel Fat lads are good friends, and they know Laura. I mean, they knew that story. There's a real Liverpool connection. So they've made an amazing remix as well, which is going to be catered for their audience too. So between the two versions, it's going to be my remake coming out today, and then their version in a couple of weeks.
I'm guessing theirs is a big prog number with.
Yes. Yeah, it is. That they played it when we played back to back at the first dance, and in fairness, their version I never fully got behind it in a lot of ways. It was like, okay, it's I missed it, so to speak. But when they played it and I watched the audience reaction, it kind of finally made sense to me. So I was really, really glad of that, actually.
That's an amazing story, man. That's lovely.
Yeah, well, it was great. From 1 minute, it was just a demo. Next minute, it was getting signed to Warner Brothers, which is FFRR. And I was like, look, this could be big deal for you, So we went around the houses and got everything watertight with lawyers and this and all those things. And then, like I say, unfortunately, the timing of when it came out, because of internal changes, there was a few balls dropped internally. So here we are, getting a second bite of the cherry with new Andy Daniel at the helm even.
Amazing. Yeah.
So he's pushing it hard, and I think the new team at FFRR are in the midst of doing a great job.
Yeah, I love loads of the records they've been putting out. It's been a nice revamp for them for sure.
Yeah, man.
And then Circus, you've got a big Hot Since 82 record out as well today, which is like a big day for you guys.
Yeah. Again, another one connected to the first dance. Obviously, we got a range of DJs that we wanted to play that kind of represented Circus over the years and Circus going forward, and everyone that was UK based for that lineup. So we asked Hot Since 82, who's been part of Circus for years and years and years. He's had lots of records on the label in terms of like remixes and one on the compilation, and obviously Bigger Than Prince and all that stuff. When he played at the first dance, he's like, I've got this demo for you, something I might test out. And he played this tune, and I was like, what's that? And he goes, it's the demo. I was like, I'll take it. So it was that simple. There's this video doing the rounds of him playing it and everybody moshing, and it's just a groove, a big thick groove, like in Hot Since 82 style. So yeah, it was that simple. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. So he wanted it out today as well. So we kind of rejiggled the release schedule to suit getting this record up, because it's going to be used for a BBC documentary as well, you see. So that's why we wanted everything to kind of tie in. But yeah, again, I think it's a Hot Since 82 classic. I think it's one of his more houseier records he's made in years too. He's kind of come back into his original kind of rhythm, if you like.
Yeah, because he's been releasing loads of melodic stuff as well, and then I swayed away because I listened to that and I was like, oh, he's back to house, wicked! I'm into this. Yes, great.
And it's what he does best, I feel.
Yeah, agreed. He was going so much gentler. I'm much more party at the moment. And it's like we kind of, when you sort of sway from
really,
people's sound a little bit.
Your background, I would have never noticed.
Yeah, I see. Some people have slowed down for a pandemic, and I seem to be just more party and more techno, more house. And I'm like, no, keep the. Yeah, this is our disco shed, by the way. This is my studio in the garden. So, yeah. So, I gave you the question. What one big tip would you give for DJs and producers right now? Because this show's all about new producers. So, what would you give them right now?
Well, it's always the same tip. Just make records that you are proud of. You know, it's really. Oh, actually, I'll probably give them a few tips now that I
Go for
think
it.
of it. Those sample packs that are doing the round with loads of hip hop vocals and all that on Splice, put them in the bin because
Yeah.
I get like 50 demos a week. And they all kind of have that kind of build up, and somebody goes, "Fuck that shit, yo," or something, and then it breaks down to just drums. Don't do that. For me, it's just everybody does that. Don't get me wrong; it's functional and it works, and it has that kind of like kick-off moment. For me, it's too simple for something that's been like an art form for 30 years. I would rather hear something that's original, you know. That's me personally. Don't get me wrong, we all have to go through that process, but I would skip that one. And again, just make records that you are truly kind of going to be proud of in years to come. And again, that, you know, I do take that with a pinch of salt as well, because I've made records I look back on maybe only a few and think, not so sure about that, but it was part of the journey. But
Yeah.
maybe as well, if you can become self-sufficient and be prepared to kind of play the long game as such, because there's nothing worse than waiting for someone else to kind of do something for you, I find anyway. As in, like, you know, that's why I set up Circus Recordings. It's just because I couldn't be arsed waiting for people to release my music at some point. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Maybe you get a reply. Maybe. And, you know, when you're determined, I don't think a maybe is enough.
It seems to waste a lot of time, just like those send an email, wait 2 weeks, send another email, when you can just go, well, put it out myself and do all that hard work yourself, you know?
Absolutely. It's a commitment. It can be expensive. You know, you don't get any money back at all, but at least you earn your own masters. You don't necessarily get much money back, even if you release on many labels. To be honest, I have released on so many labels over the years, like Desolat, Cocoon, B Pitch Control, Moon Harbour, the full lot. The only one I've really kind of got any income from is Defected, you know, because they run it really well as a proper amazing business. And Defected, I always kind of really respect the way they handle things and the way they run a record label, like a record label can be ran. And that's kind of my ambition in terms of the back end of the way it's organized, is that I'd love to take Circus Recordings to something along those lines at some point. Even Tool Room, it's not a label that I release on, but the machine on the back end is really, really brilliant. To aspire to those levels is pretty hard. On the other hand, you know, releasing a record, you have to kind of organize your PR, your Spotify push, your radio push, your DJs, your artwork, your mastering, make the music, and it's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work, especially when you know full well the return is 1 in 10,000 in terms of kind of success rate.
It does seem a lot easier though, like the whole straight to Bandcamp route and self-releasing. It does seem a lot easier to kind of, if you're doing it yourself though these days as well.
Yeah, it can be, but I think maybe my mentality these days is how to put a record away properly, as in, like, you know, push all the buttons, try give it the best chance you can. But what is really interesting, I always reflect with my best friend, well, one of my best friends, Kai Crichton, who runs Under No Illusion. You know, I'm godfather to his son, he's godfather to mine. I put this big push out for Circus Recordings in every release, and Kai just slips it out. And in terms of numbers, it's much of a muchness. It really is. So I guess the audience just know what they like. There's almost kind of no rhyme or reason to it until you get to kind of a top level, like I say, like Defected.
I know we've short on time, so what's your plans for the rest of the year? Have you got more releases coming? I know you've got this. You said you've got this 8-week project which is coming in 8 weeks. So what else is going on the rest of this year?
Oh, all sorts. I mean, I've got a 2-track EP coming out on Knee Deep in Sound with Camel Fat, which is pretty strong. But actually, it's 2 absolute belters. I've got a remix of Boy North, which again is really strong. And he's a guy that got in touch with me on Instagram or something and said, "Oh, you know, what do you think of these tunes?" And I like, "Oh, what's this one? Devil's Ivy. I like that one. What's going on with that?" And he said, "Oh, I don't know, if I'm going to self-release it or whatever." I said, "Well, send me the stems and let's have a little listen." So he sent me his stems, and I kind of turned it into this big kind of euphoric Ibiza, well, in inverted commas, if it happens, kind of anthem style track. And he's like, wow, and he's really, really happy. So I'm going to put it out as a rework on Circus in August. I've got a remix for this band called Polika, which I've been waiting to release for ages. And I've got single after single after single. I think I've got one on Defected coming as well, but I just need the final nod from Big Simon. Events-wise, we'll see what happens. We've got an amazing list of top level events coming to Liverpool, but we just need to be able to open. That's the trick. That's the trick. As soon as we can open, it'll be fine. But yeah, man, like I say, it's all good.
Thank you. Cool. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for your time this afternoon. I know it's very limited.
No worries.
Thank you so much for joining me. It's been lovely to see your face. We're going to play your record. Got everyone in the chat, go and grab it afterwards. We're going to play it after you've disappear off and say goodbye. Thank you for joining us. Thank you again for everything you've done. I'll see you soon, dude.
We keep trying, man. We keep trying. Thanks, Graham. Good luck with everything, mate.
See you soon, mate. See you soon. Do you agree with him? Do you use them? What do you think of that? What do you think of his comments? What do you think of his producer tips? Did you agree with them? Did you find them useful? Drop us a little comment. Let me know what you think. And if you like this video, give it a like and thumbs up, because it really helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps other people find it. And if you're really feeling it, hit subscribe, because that means you get the videos first. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio. Bye-bye.